Hey guys, how you doing? It's Elstonation here. So, yeah, this is going to be one of the last sections in the rules parts of it. Just for the moment. I'll go through close combat weapons. We've still got a whole host of things to cover. But these are basically coming towards the end of the basics. And this is the fun part. These are the Lords of War section. Now, I had to think about this the other day, and I'm not 100% sure, and if you could let me know in the comments below, that'd be really handy in answer to this question. I don't remember there being Lords of War in 40k before there were Lords of War in 30k. I think Lords of War came out in 30k first. I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't remember Lords of War being in 40k before they were in 30k. I think Lords of War came out in 30k first, and then 40k adopted it. Much like Volkite weaponry, that's now appeared in 40k as well. Yeah. I'm not sure about grav weapons as well. I'm not sure. There's a few things that basically spawned off 30k, which are now in 40k. But yeah, if you could let me know, if anyone knows the answer to that question, that'd be really interesting to find out. So, yeah, so we're going to cover this Lords of War. Now, Lords of War basically can't account for more than 25% of your army. So if you're running a 2,000 point, they can't be over 500 points. And you can do the maths on working the rest of that out. So, yeah, this is the first part. So first off, we've got the Legion Stormblade Super Heavy Tank. It's BS3, front armor 14, side armor 13, rear armor 12, and it's got 9 hull points. It's a super heavy vehicle. It's got a plasma blast gun, searchlight, smoke launchers, hull mounted heavy bolter. It can have up to 2 pairs of side sponsons, each with 1 las cannon and 1 twin linked heavy bolter. Okay. So 50 points per pair. Okay. 2 pairs. So 2 pairs of side sponsons. Okay. Okay, so I'm guessing. Oh, so could you have 4 side sponsons altogether? So if there's 2 pairs, that would be 4. Let me know if you know the answer to that one as well. I'm not really going to play the rules game on this one. I don't honestly know. So a Stormblade may replace its sponsons with twin-linked heavy bolters with twin-linked heavy flamers for free. Fair enough. Stormblade may take any of the following: Hunter-Killer Missile, Armoured Ceramite. Armoured Ceramite's probably worthwhile. Stormblade may take one of the following pintle-mounted weapons: twin-linked heavy bolter, combi weapon, heavy flamer, havoc launcher, heavy bolter, multi-melter. Stormblade may be upgraded to be a command tank, and it can also have a Space Marine crew, which basically increases BS by 1. So, and I'm not going to go over the points. Plasma blast gun. So it's got two different firing modes. So you got plasma blast gun rapid, range is 72 inch, strength 8, AP 2, primary weapon 2, massive blast 7 inch. That's still pretty nasty. I think the primary weapon is like ordnance, you roll 2d6, pick the highest. Again, I don't know, comment down below, really handy. This is going to be an educational one for me as well as you guys. So, but Lords of War always kind of are. And then you've got the overload firing method. It's 96 inch range, strength 10, AP 2, primary weapon 1, apocalyptic blast, which is a 10 inch. Which is... Okay, a command tank, allied units within 24 inches may reroll failed morale checks. So that's what command tanks do. So yeah, that's the Stormblade. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Yeah, I'd take one of them. Cerberus, Legion Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer. This is more common one, much like the Typhon as well. 395 points, BS4, front armor, side armor are 14, rear armor is 13. Okay, I didn't know rear armor's 13. Whole point is 6. It's a super heavy vehicle. It's got a twin-link neutron laser battery. We'll look into that in a moment. Searchlight smoke launchers, and a flare shield. It's got a flare shield on it. And it's got reactor blast as a special rule. It can have heavy bolts, las cannons, Sponsons, hunter killer missile, armored ceramite, twin-link bolt, pinhole mounted weapons. This is twin-link bolt, combi weapon, heavy flamer, heavy bolt, or multi-melter. Should the Cerberus lose its last hull point, it rolls on the catastrophic damage table with a +1 modifier. The vehicle is then removed. So yeah, if this thing goes boom, it goes boom bigger than the rest. So neutron laser battery. Let's have a look at this thing. It's a 72-inch range, strength 10, AP 1. So primary weapon, D3, roll each time the weapon is fired. Ooh. Concussive feedback and shock pulse. Okay. I don't know what these rules are. Feedback. If a weapon of this type fails its penetrating rolls against the target vehicle's armor, or fails to wound roll against the target model, note that successful armor saves do not count for this roll. Roll a d6. If the result is 1, dangerous energy feedback along the beam causes the firing model to lose 1 hull point or wound. So you could end up blowing yourself up. Shock pulse. Any vehicle, including super heavy vehicles, that suffers a penetrating hit from this weapon with this type may only fire snapshots in the following game turn. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting though. That'll knock out your super heavies from shooting a lot. That's interesting. So this could be your neutralizer for super heavy weapons. Never thought of that. Okay, Legion Typhon heavy siege tank. This shows up quite a lot, these ones. Front, side, rear armor 14, 6 hull points, BS4. It's got a Dread Hammer siege cannon, searchlight smoke launchers, and it's got crushing weight. And heavy bolters or las cannons. It can have hunter killer missile, armored ceramite, twin-link bolter, combi weapon, heavy flamer, heavy bolter, multi-melter. Right, Dread Hammer siege cannon. Okay, it's got, looks like 2 ranges. It's got a 24-inch range or a 48-inch range. Strength 10, AP 1. Primary weapon, massive blast 7 inches. No cover saves allowed. The Dread Hammer siege cannon has 2 ranges depending on whether its vehicle has remained stationary or not. If the vehicle that the cannon is mounted on moved in the preceding movement phase, the weapon has a range of 24. If it did not, the range is increased to 48. So if you don't move, your range is doubled. So yeah, crushing weight. A super heavy vehicle with this special rule adds +1 to all rolls on Thunderblitz's table when making a ram or a tank shock attack. I don't know much about ramming and tank shock. I know Beast of War covered it, but I need to go over it again just to understand it. But yeah, that could be quite fun. You see these pop up quite a lot. They're basically the same size as Spartan. So, Legion Falchion, super heavy tank destroyer, is 505 points, probably the 5s to stop it being shown up in small games, because it's ridiculous. It's BS3, front armor's 14, side armor's 13, rear armor's 12, and it's got 12 hull points. It is super heavy vehicle, searchlight smoke launcher, 1 twin-linked hull-mounted volcano cannon, and 2 sponson-mounted quad las cannons. Oh, volcano cannons. Ugh. As can have hunter killer missiles, auxiliary drive, armored ceramite. It can have twin-link bolter, combi weapon, heavy flamer, heavy launcher. Sorry, havoc launcher, not heavy launcher. Heavy bolter, multi-melter, and it could be upgraded to a Space Marine crew. Okay. Oh. Okay, so basically what this is saying is the falchions, like the shadow sword for the Imperial Guard, Sorry, for the Space Marines. So the Imperial or Solar Auxilia used the Shadow Sword. The Space Marines are used the falchion. The rules on it. Oh, I've just knocked a Contemptor over. Ooh. A volcano cannon is range 120 inches, strength D, AP 2, primary weapon 1, and large blast. And it's twin linked as well. Yeah, so that's one to watch out for. If you see that rolling down the field, run! Okay, Legion Malcador Assault Tank. It's 300 points. It's BS3, front armor 13, side armor 13, rear armor 12. It's got 6 hull points. It's a super heavy vehicle and it's fast. Ooh, I don't know how that works with super heavies. It's got a traverse mounted battle cannon, a hull mounted auto cannons, two sponsor mounted heavy stubbers, searchlight smoke launchers, and special rules battle speed. I'll have a look, maybe that's what the fast thing is about. It can exchange its battle cannon for twin link las cannon if it wants to. It can exchange its hull mounted auto cannon for a demolisher cannon. That could be funny. It may upgrade its 2 sponsor weapons for to the following: heavy bolters, heavy flamers, auto cannons, or las cannons. It can have hunter killer missile, armored thermite, flare shield. It can have a flare shield. Malcador can take pintle mounted, twin link bolter, heavy stubber, combi weapon, or heavy flamer. It can be a command tank, and it can have a Space Marine Legion crew. Battle speed. When the Malcador assault tank moves flat out in the shooting phase, it may choose to fire its traverse mounted battle cannon or twin link las cannon at its full ballistic skill, either before or after the flat out move, but may fire no other weapons. It can shoot in the so it could go. I have to look up on how fast works on super heavies, because fast in normal tank terms means you can move 12 inches and still shoot one weapon. How it works with super heavies, I haven't got a bloody idea. So yeah, if you know that rule, let me know below. I'd be really interested to find out. But that does make it interesting for the battle speed as well, because it means it can fire again. Okay. That'd be interesting, because it says it can fire its traverse mounted battle cannon or twin link las cannon at full ballistic skill. Oh, okay, yeah, because that's the same thing. Okay, that's cool. It's the same turret. Okay, right, next, Fellblade. I haven't missed a page, have I? Nope. Right. Fellblade. I love Fellblades. 525 points, BS3, front armor 14, side armor 13, rear armor 12, hull points 12. It's a super heavy vehicle. It's got a turret mounted twin linked Fellblade accelerator cannon. That's a mouthful. 2 sponsor mounted quad las cannons, hull mounted twin linked heavy bolter, hull mounted demolisher siege cannon, searchlight, and smoke launchers. I should have used that in a game, but hey ho. It can exchange its quad las cannons for laser destroyers. It can have twin linked heavy flamer instead of heavy bolter. It got hunter killer missile, armored ceramite, definitely worth that. Twin link bolter, combi weapon, heavy flamer, heavy bolter, multi melter, pintle mounted weapons. It can be a command tank and a Space Marine Legion crew. So the Fellblade accelerator cannon. It's got a few different firing. It's got 2 different firing modes. It's got HE shell, which is a range 100 inch, strength 8, AP 3, ordnance 1, massive blast 7 inch. Or it's got AE. I don't know what they stand for. It's got 100 inch range. It's strength 9, AP 2, heavy 1, armor bane, blast 3 inch. Which that makes it ruthless. If you didn't know what a laser destroyer is, it's 36 inch range, strength 9, AP 2, ordnance 1, twin linked. So instead of having 2 shots that are twin linked at strength 9, AP 2, you're exchanging it for one shot, but you get ordnance, so you get to roll 2d6 on armor penetration and pick the highest. It's a bit shorter range as well. Up to you though. So yeah, that's the Fellblade. I love them. So, Legion Glaive Super Heavy Special Weapons Tank. Okay, glaives are interesting things. It's got a turret-mounted Volkite carronade, 2 sponsored mounted quad las cannon, a whole mounted twin-linked heavy bolter searchlight and smoke launchers. It can have laser destroyer sponsons. It can swap its twin-linked heavy bolters for heavy flamers. It can have hunter killer missile and armored ceramite. Volkite carronade is a 48-inch range, strength 8, AP2, primary 1. Ignores cover, heavy beam, deflagrate, and haywire. That's a lot of rules in one gun. Heavy beam. When this weapon is fired, draw a line from the end of the gun barrel up to the listed range of the weapon and 1 inch wide. The initial target for the weapon, the first model in the beam's path must be an enemy model. Okay, so you can't point it at your own guys. So yeah, you've got a few different rules, things going on. All models, friend and enemy, caught in the beam area excepting the firing tank, suffer a hit with the listed profile of the weapon except zooming flyers, swooping monstrous creatures, and flying gargantuan creatures that cannot be affected or targeted. Units struck receive a number of hits equal to the number of models caught in the path of the beam. Casualties are removed from affected units using the normal rules for removing casualties. It's fine. If the beam strikes a super heavy vehicle, gargantuan creature, or a large intact building, fortification, bastion sized or larger, the attack is blocked and its line of effect will go no further. The blocking target will, however, suffer 1 plus D3 separate hits rather than just 1. Okay, so it's potentially 4 hits. If a vehicle transporting model suffers a penetrating hit from the Volkite carronade, the occupants decide to suffer D6 strength 4 AP nothing hits with the deflagrate rule. In addition to any other effects, casualties are assigned by the controlling player. So, what does that mean? Basically, this thing shoots a big beam down the board. Now, that seems pretty horrible enough. It is strength 8, AP2, ignores cover, so you've only got invuln saves against this thing. It's also got deflagrate, which, if I pronounce that wrong, that is what it is. If it's an unsaved wound, another hit happens. So if you, for example, you hit 6 models in the squad, if they're not terminators, they're all dead, basically. Unless they're lucky on the saves, or lucky on the rolls to wound. Then another 6 hits will happen. So you could literally just wipe out squads. If you're going against this thing, just make sure you don't have anything behind another squad. You just have it. That's it. Because it goes through vehicles. It's just super heavy vehicles it gets stuck at. That is 625 points though. Okay, Legion Thunderhawk Transporter, it's 400 points. It's BS4, front side armor at 12, rear armor's 10. It's not got more rear armor than a Storm Eagle, that's interesting. It's got 9 hull points. It's a Thunderhawk Transporter, super heavy flyer, it's got hover transport, 1 access hatch at the rear on each side of the forward cockpit section. So yeah, 4 twin-linked heavy bolters. It's got armored ceramite. The Thunderhawk transporter has a transport capacity of 15 models. This is the transporter. I'm getting this mixed up with the Thunderhawk. The transporter may additionally carry 2 Rhino-sized vehicles or 1 Land Raider-sized vehicles. These vehicles may contain passengers. Okay, so I can't remember any of the rules for flyers, but you've got chaff launched, armor cockpit, illume flares, distinctive paint scheme or markings, flare shield, interesting, ramjet diffraction grid, void crafted hull. And it can carry up to 6 Hellstrike missiles as well. Okay, loading vehicles. An empty Thunderhawk transporter can pick up a stationary vehicle by moving over it whilst in hover mode. The vehicle cannot have moved this turn. Next turn, the transporter can move again, taking the vehicle with it. Okay. Unloading vehicles. Vehicles can disembark from the transporter very quickly if it lands. If it lands, i.e. doesn't move in the turn, whilst in hover mode, then the vehicles carried on board may move as normal. So basically, if it doesn't move, so if you pick it up, move it, and then wait till the next turn the tank could just move off on its own, do whatever it wanted to do. Yeah, how would that work? Pick up a vehicle, next turn go into zoom mode, shoot over, next mode, hover mode, drop down, tank can move off. Would that work? Would that work? Let me know in the comments. Legion Thunderhawk gunship. BS4, front side is 12, rear armor is 10, hull point's not. I don't get the rear armor 10. That doesn't make sense to me. Super heavy fighter hover, 1 access hatch each side, and forward assault ramp. The Thunderhawk has a transport capacity of 30 models. It may carry dreadnoughts, counting as 10 models each, and may only disembark using the main ramp, jump infantry, and bikes. Okay. Okay, counting as 10 models each, and may only disembark using the main. So basically, it's saying dreadnoughts can only get in and out of the front ramp, as well as jump infantry and bikes. Okay. It's an assault vehicle, hull-mounted Thunderhawk cannon, 4 sponsor-mounted twin-linked heavy bolter, 6 Hellstrike missiles. They come as standard on this. 2 hull-mounted las cannons, armored ceramite, and machine spirit. Machine spirit's not on the other one. Interesting. The Thunderhawk cannon may be replaced with a turbo laser destructor for 90 points. It's 685 points for the Thunderhawk. May replace all 6 Hellstrike missiles with 6 Thunderhawk cluster bombs. Okay. Can have chaff launcher, armor cockpit, flare shield, ramjet, diffraction grid, and void crafted hull. Turbo laser destructor is range 96, strength D, AP 2, primary 1, primary weapon 1, large blast 5 inches. So yeah, that's pretty nasty. Thunderhawk cannon is 72-inch range, strength A, AP 3, primary weapon 1, massive blast 7 inches. Okay, interesting. Heavy bomb clusters. Heavy bomb clusters, ranges, bomb, strength 6, AP 4, heavy 1, apocalyptic barrage 6, 1 use. You can elect to have the Thunderhawk drop 1 heavy bomb cluster per bombing run. The Thunderhawk has enough bombs to do this 3 times over the course of a game. Okay. Okay, so heavy bomb cluster per bombing run. Interesting. Why can you have 6 Thunderhawk cluster bombs, but you can only drop 1? I might be getting something wrong there, guys. Let me know in the comments below what that's about, because that's weird. It's saying you can replace 6 Hellstrike missiles for 6 Thunderhawk cluster bombs, but this little special rule here says you can elect to have the Thunderhawk drop 1 heavy bomb cluster per bombing run. The Thunderhawk has enough bombs to do this 3 times over the course of the game. So, if you've got 6, but you can only do it 3 times, that doesn't make sense to me. I might be reading that wrong. If you understand that and makes sense, drop it in the comments below. Void crafted hull. Once the Thunderhawk went into mass production during the Horus Heresy to replace the lost stockpiles of the larger multi-role Stormblade craft, it was realised that more heavily constructed variants were required for the rigours and prolonged void operations. The Thunderhawk with this upgrade increases its rear armour value to 12. That makes more sense. And that's 35 points. That'll take you up to 720. Whew. Okay. Okay, well, that's the Lords of War done. There's this fortification section here. Have we got any more Lords of War? No. Okay, well, we'll just cover this fortification while we're here, because might as well. Imperial castellum stronghold. Okay, composition: 1 castellum stronghold consisting of a main bunker and 3 bunker annexes. Okay, so it's basically the 4. Multi-part building with battlements. This comprises a single space marine castellum stronghold realm of battle tile. The stronghold consists of an open deck area, a main tacticus bunker, large buildings, armor value 14, and 3 bunker annexes, medium buildings, armor value 14. Okay, war gear none. Special rules: shielded gate barriers and defensive structure, access points and fire points as per model. Basically where you can get in and out, where you can see. Okay, so the Tacticus bunker and each of the bunker annexes may be equipped with the following emplaced weapons. Emplaced weapons may be used by units within their bunker at the unit's BS value. Otherwise, they use the automated fire rules and are utilised by the castellum's controlling player. These emplacements may not be targeted separately and considered destroyed when the bunker is. That's pretty horrible. That's pretty horrible indeed. Okay. The Tacticus bunker has 2 mounting points and so may take 2 weapon choices, while the bunker annexes have 1 mounting point and so may only take a single weapon choice of each of the following. Okay, so it's basically you can have a tarantula sort of system on each one of the annexes. You can have 1, and then you can have 2 on the bunker. So you can have a twin-linked heavy bolter, twin-linked heavy flamer, twin-linked las cannon, multi-melter and searchlight, Hyperius missile launcher, whirlwind launcher, Icarus las cannon, and quad gun. Ew. Yeah, that makes it a bit brutal. Okay, the following option may only be taken by the mounts on the Tacticus bunker in addition to those previously listed. So you can have a Hyperius command platform, you can have a battle cannon turret, or you can have an Icarus quad las cannon. Oh. In addition, the Tacticus bunker may further be equipped with any of the following: comms relay or hostile signal jammer. Okay, so let's have a look at the rules. Shielded gate barriers. At the start of each of the controlling player's turn, they may declare whether the gate barriers, see the diagram on page 77, are each raised or lowered. Consider them to be raised by default at the start of the game. Okay, so it means they're up. Raised barriers are treated as impossible terrain to the height of the adjoining walls, but do not block line of sight. Wounds inflicted by shooting attacks that pass through the raised shield gate barrier benefit from a 3+ invulnerable save. Oh, it's going to be hard to get guys out of this. Should the Castellum's Tacticus bunker be destroyed, the barriers collapse and cannot be raised again. So if you blow up the bunker, then all the doors drop. So defensive structure. The following rules and conditions apply. The battlements of the Castellum stronghold a 4+ cover save for units on top of them. Okay, that's fair enough. So if they're in a building, units that go to ground anywhere on the Castellum stronghold tile gain +2 to their cover saves rather than a +1. So if these guys go to ground, they got a 2-up cover save. The bunker of the Castellum stronghold has a 5+ invulnerable save against shooting attacks directed against them and units within them. So if you're in this, you get a 5-up invuln save as well. Okay, right. It's pretty brutal. So it's 275 points. I'm gonna get me one of these. These are awesome. Hostile signal comms relay. Sorry. While the Tacticus bunker is attacked and occupied by a friendly unit, the controlling player's reserve rolls may be re-rolled. Okay, it also makes it pretty brutal. Hostile signal jammer. While the Tacticus bunker is intact and occupied by a friendly unit, roll a d6 for any enemy unit attempting to deep strike either onto the Castellum stronghold tile or within 12 inches of its edges. On a result of a 4+, the unit suffers a tube strike mishap automatically. Oh, so you can't even get near it. Okay. And then it might scatter and mishap anyway. Blech. So let's just have a look at the weaponry. Icarus Las Cannon is a 96-inch range. 96-inch range? That's crazy. Strength 9, AP2, Heavy 1, Interceptor and Skyfire. Quad gun, 48-inch range, Strength 7, AP4, Heavy 4, Interceptor, Skyfire and Twin Linked. Icarus Quad Las Cannon, 96-inch range, Strength 9, AP2, Heavy 2, Interceptor, Skyfire and Twin Linked. Hyperius Missile Launcher, 48-inch range, Strength 8, AP3, Heavy 1, Skyfire, Interceptor and Heat Seeker. Heat Seeker, a weapon with a special rule, can reroll all fail to hit rolls against flyers and fast skimmers. Oh, okay. Hyperius Command Platform. As long as Hyperius Command Platform is functioning, all the Hyperius missile launchers, quad guns, Icarus Las Cannons, and quad Icarus Las Cannons mounted on the castellum stronghold resolve any automated fire at PS3. Okay. That's pretty nasty as well. So they're pretty, like, even if you don't have someone manning them, they're pretty awesome. In addition, while the command platform is in play, any of the strongholds in placed weapons with the Skyfire special rule may target flyers and fast skimmers in preference to closer models when shooting using automated fire special rule. So it means you don't have to shoot the closest one, you can shoot at flyers instead if you want to. Pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. And there's a picture of it. And they're beautiful. I think that's just the bunker. I think that's just the bunker. I might be wrong, that might be all four. I'm not sure. Is there another picture? I think that's all four. Because there's a gun there, there's a gun there, there's two there, and I'm guessing there's one around the other side as well. Cool, and the next bit's onto Mechanicum. So yeah, that's it guys. That is Lords of War and Fortifications, which I didn't think I was going to cover. So yeah, that's all the basics for the Space Marine stuff. There's Mechanicum stuff, there's Solar Auxilia stuff, there's all the Legion specific stuff. We haven't even like come close to touching on that yet. So we've still got a long way to go. There's also loads of new stuff which has come out since this book has been released. Stuff like the Dorito or Dorito Dreadnought, as I like to call it. The Leviathan Dreadnought, God knows, there's a few other things as well. So yeah, the Typhon Interceptor. So yeah, we've still got a fair few things to cover, and we'll get around to them as we get around to them. So next video, maybe close combat weapons, maybe a roundup. Probably do close combat weapons next, and then we'll do a roundup and summary and see what we think of that bit so far, and see what people think of the current state of play. So yeah, sorry it's a bit of a long one guys, it's been over half an hour on that one, so we are pretty much done though now. So thank you all for watching, take it steady, and if you do have any comments, stick them down below. I'm not the master of everything, so if you've got something to correct me on, please do. I'm more than happy for that. So take it steady guys, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.